Welcome to the channel, Stoic friends. Life isn't always easy, and we've all experienced moments when things didn't go as planned. People we trusted might have let us down, broken promises, or walked away, leaving us feeling hurt, confused, and uncertain. But here's the truth. These challenges don't have to define us. In fact, they can teach us some of the most valuable lessons we'll ever learn. In today's world, where emotions often dictate our decisions, we can turn to Stoicism for guidance, a philosophy that teaches us the power of resilience, self-control, and inner peace. Stoicism shows us that while we can't control everything around us, we can always control how we respond. It reminds us that we have the strength to rise above the pain and rebuild our lives stronger, wiser, and more at peace with ourselves. This space is all about embracing the principles of Stoicism to heal, grow, and live with purpose. Whether you've faced betrayal, disappointment, or simply the ups and downs of life, Stoic wisdom can help you navigate through it all. Here, we'll explore how to take back control, find closure, and move forward with strength and grace. I'm so glad you're here, and I invite you to join me on this journey. Together, we'll reflect on the teachings of the Stoics, uncover powerful strategies for overcoming life's challenges, and discover how we can apply these timeless principles in our everyday lives. If you're new to Stoicism, or just looking for practical advice on how to handle life's trials, you're in the right place. So grab a seat, take a deep breath, and let's begin this transformative journey together. Welcome to a community where strength, wisdom, and peace await. Number 1, acknowledge the truth of their actions. When someone we care about breaks a promise or betrays our trust, it's natural to feel an overwhelming sense of confusion and hurt. We often want to deny the reality of their actions, to tell ourselves that it was all a mistake, that maybe they didn't mean to hurt us. It's easy to slip into a fantasy where we believe we can change the outcome, or where we somehow convince ourselves that their intentions were pure. But the first step toward healing and true emotional strength is to acknowledge the truth of their actions, however painful that may be. Facing the truth doesn't mean that you are accepting defeat, nor does it mean that you are giving up on the relationship. Acknowledging the truth is about recognizing the reality of what happened, regardless of how much we wish it weren't so. Yes, they broke their promise, and yes, they chose to walk away. These are facts, no matter how much our heart protests. The longer we try to rationalize their behavior or deny it, the longer we stay trapped in a cycle of pain and self-deception. We delay our healing by clinging to what could have been, rather than dealing with what is. When we truly acknowledge the truth of their actions, we reclaim our power. We stop allowing their decisions to dictate our emotional state, and more importantly, we stop trying to rewrite the story to protect them or preserve our own comfort. Acknowledging the truth isn't about blame, it's about facing reality head-on. This might feel like a punch to the gut, but it's the first step toward freeing yourself from the pain that their actions have caused. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. By accepting their actions for what they are, you take back control over how you respond. It's important to remember that accepting the truth isn't about hating them, holding grudges, or allowing anger to consume you. It's about understanding that the situation is what it is, and that you cannot change the past. We can't go back and change their actions, no matter how much we wish we could. However, we can change how we move forward, how we heal, and how we build our emotional resilience from this point onward. This process can be deeply painful. The truth is often hard to accept because it means letting go of the illusions we've built around our relationships or about the person who hurt us. We may find ourselves mourning not just the loss of the relationship, but also the version of that person we thought we knew. The truth can feel like a betrayal on multiple levels, but the key here is that the pain of accepting the truth is temporary, while the peace that comes from acceptance is long-lasting. Instead of denying the reality, allow yourself to feel the discomfort. Allow yourself to grieve the loss of trust, the loss of the future you imagined, and the changes in the relationship. But don't let that grief turn into bitterness or regret. In the words of Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This truth doesn't define you, it simply is. And how you choose to react, how you choose to learn from this experience, will shape who you become moving forward. By accepting the truth, you stop living in a fantasy and begin the real work of emotional healing. It doesn't mean you condone what they did, nor does it mean that you should forget the hurt. It means you choose to step out of the cycle of self-deception and reclaim your power. You no longer waste your energy on what-ifs and could-have-beens. Instead, you focus on what you can control, your growth, your peace, and your ability to move forward. In time, this acceptance will lead you to a place of strength. It will allow you to set clearer boundaries, to protect your heart, and to make decisions with clarity rather than being clouded by the hope of a different reality. Acknowledging the truth of their actions, as painful as it may be, is not a defeat. It's your first step toward freedom. And from there, you can rebuild, reimagine, and grow into a version of yourself that is more resilient, wise, and capable than before. Number 2, stop chasing closure. When someone betrays your trust or breaks their promises, it's natural to feel a deep need for closure. We search for answers, for a sense of understanding, and for the peace that comes from knowing why things happened the way they did. We often tell ourselves that if we could just have that final conversation, that one last explanation, everything would make sense and we could move on. But the truth is, closure isn't something you can chase. It's not something that's granted by the other person. Real closure comes from within, and it's a process that starts when you let go of the need for someone else to give you that elusive peace of mind. The problem with chasing closure is that it keeps you tethered to the past, to the person who hurt you, and to the emotional turmoil of what happened. When you keep searching for that perfect conversation or explanation, you allow the other person's actions to continue affecting your life. You stay stuck, waiting for something that may never come, and in doing so, you delay your healing. The person who hurt you may never give you the answers you crave, and they may not even fully understand the impact of their actions. But you don't need their explanation to move forward. You have everything you need within yourself to heal. It's crucial to understand that closure isn't about having all the answers or finding a reason for everything. Sometimes things happen without clear explanations, and sometimes people act in ways that we can't fully understand or justify. The more we chase closure from them, the more we prolong our suffering. We stay attached to the idea that something outside of us must happen in order for us to feel at peace. But the truth is, peace doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. As the Stoics teach us, we have the power to control how we respond to events, and that includes how we respond to the lack of closure. Instead of waiting for the other person to provide the answers, you must turn inward. Ask yourself what you truly need in order to heal. It's not about knowing why they did what they did. It's about understanding how you can take control of your own healing process. Closure is not something you get from someone else. It's something you create for yourself by accepting the situation as it is and choosing to move forward without needing validation from the past. This doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge the hurt or the disappointment. Acknowledging the pain is crucial to the healing process, but you must also recognize that, at some point, you have to stop looking outside of yourself for the peace you deserve. You have to stop chasing the idea that the other person will provide you with the answers that will suddenly make everything okay. Instead, Focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions moving forward. In the absence of closure, you can find empowerment. By choosing to let go of the need for external validation, you reclaim your autonomy. You decide that your peace is not dependent on someone else's actions or words. You can choose to close the chapter yourself, not because you have all the answers, but because you are ready to move forward with or without them. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. It allows you to stop dwelling in the past and start focusing on your future. It reminds you that you don't need anyone's permission to heal or to move on. You are in control of your own story, and that's where true power lies. As Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The longer we chase closure from others, the longer we remain trapped in our own imagination, replaying the same painful scenarios over and over. But when we let go of the need for closure, we free ourselves from that cycle. Letting go doesn't mean you forget the pain or the betrayal. It means you stop allowing it to control you. It means that you stop depending on the actions or words of someone else to find peace. Instead, you take the reins of your life and choose to heal on your own terms. You create your own closure through acceptance, growth, and self-reflection. In time, you'll realize that the need for closure was just another form of attachment, another way of holding on to something that no longer serves you. Once you stop chasing it, you'll find that peace was always within you. It just took letting go of the past to uncover it. You'll move forward stronger, wiser, and more at peace with yourself, knowing that you don't need anyone's closure to validate your journey. You are enough on your own, and that is the truest form of healing. Number 3, lean into what brings comfort. When someone betrays your trust or breaks their promises, it can leave you feeling lost, confused, and emotionally vulnerable. In these moments, it's natural to seek comfort, to look for ways to soothe the pain and find a sense of peace amidst the turmoil. However, the comfort you choose in times of hurt is crucial. It's not just about distractions or temporary relief. It's about finding sources of healing that nurture your well-being and allow you to process your emotions in a healthy way. Leaning into what truly brings comfort can be a powerful tool in your journey to healing, as long as you choose what nourishes your mind, body, and soul. The first step in leaning into comfort is recognizing what genuinely brings you a sense of peace and warmth, rather than just numbing the pain. Many people in times of hurt will turn to distractions like unhealthy habits, overindulgence, or avoidance, things like excessive drinking, binge-watching TV shows, or escaping into social media. While these may offer temporary relief, they ultimately prevent you from facing the hurt and working through your emotions. Instead of escaping, lean into the activities or people that bring you true comfort and healing. For some, this may mean spending time in nature, taking long walks, or meditating. For others, it might involve journaling, practicing yoga, or seeking the support of close friends or family. The key is to engage in things that allow you to process your emotions rather than suppress them. In moments of pain, it's essential to create space for yourself to heal. Sometimes comfort comes from solitude, a chance to be with your thoughts and reflect on what you're going through without external distractions. Taking time to be alone doesn't mean you're isolating yourself out of sadness, but rather that you're giving yourself the permission to be vulnerable and process the emotions that arise. Solitude provides a sanctuary where you can connect with yourself, reflect on the lessons you're learning, and gradually rebuild your inner strength. As the Stoics teach, our inner peace comes from our own thoughts and reflections, not from external circumstances. Therefore, leaning into moments of quiet can be an incredibly powerful way to regain balance and clarity. Another vital source of comfort can be found in the relationships and connections that nourish you. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely care for you, who offer support without judgment, can be incredibly healing. These are the friends or family members who create a safe space for you to express your feelings without fear of criticism or rejection. When someone breaks their promises, it's easy to feel as though you cannot trust anyone. But the people who love you unconditionally can remind you that trust is still possible and that you are worthy of love and respect. Their comforting presence can help restore your faith in human connection and remind you that not everyone will betray you. These relationships allow you to lean on others and be vulnerable, showing you that healing is often a shared experience. Additionally, leaning into activities or practices that bring you joy can play a key role in healing. Whether it's pursuing a creative hobby, diving into a passion you've neglected, or simply engaging in something that makes you smile, these acts of self-care can provide a sense of normalcy and comfort during difficult times. Sometimes it's the little things, like reading a favorite book, enjoying a warm cup of tea, or playing a musical instrument, that can offer the most profound sense of peace. These activities may not erase the hurt, but they can serve as small reminders that joy still exists in your life, even amid pain. Comfort can also be found in nature. Spending time outside, whether it's a walk in the park, a hike in the mountains, or simply sitting by the water, can have a grounding effect. The natural world has a way of putting things into perspective, reminding us that life is cyclical, that pain and growth are part of the human experience. Nature offers a sense of tranquility that can help restore your sense of inner balance, even when everything around you feels uncertain. Finally, it's important to be kind and compassionate with yourself during this time. Comfort doesn't always come from external sources. It can also come from the way you treat yourself. Be patient with yourself as you navigate through the pain. Understand that healing takes time and that it's okay to feel hurt. Don't rush yourself or feel pressured to move on too quickly. Instead, give yourself permission to grieve, to feel, and to rest when needed. Self-compassion is a powerful form of comfort. It allows you to heal on your own terms and reminds you that you are worthy of love, both from others and from yourself. Number 4, let the void be a lesson, not a loss. When someone leaves your life, especially after making promises that they ultimately don't keep, it can feel like a deep wound, one that creates a void in your heart. The absence of their presence, the space they once occupied in your life, often feels like a gaping hole, a stark emptiness where once there was something meaningful. It's natural to mourn this loss, to feel the pang of rejection or disappointment, and to question why things turned out the way they did. But while this void may seem like something that diminishes you, it is actually an opportunity for growth. The key is to shift your perspective, to see the void not as something to be feared or resented, but as a space for learning, reflection, and personal development. The first step in embracing the void as a lesson is to recognize that loss is a part of life. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Instead of focusing solely on what you've lost, try to focus on what this experience can teach you. When someone breaks their promises, it's not just a personal betrayal, it's a chance to understand more about trust, vulnerability, and your own capacity to endure. The absence of someone who once meant so much to you can be painful, but it can also be a catalyst for re-evaluating your values and your approach to relationships. What have you learned from this person's promises? What did you expect from them, and how did they fall short? By looking at the situation critically, you can uncover insights about yourself, your boundaries, and what you truly need in relationships. The void left behind can also serve as a space for self-discovery. When someone leaves or betrays you, you may feel like you've lost a part of yourself. But in truth, you have the chance to rediscover who you are outside of that relationship. This absence can offer you the time and mental clarity to reconnect with your own identity, your passions, and your sense of purpose. When we are constantly wrapped up in the dynamics of another person, we often lose sight of what makes us unique. The void, while painful, gives you a chance to reclaim your individuality and redefine your priorities. You may discover new interests, new ways of thinking, or even strengths you never knew you had. The absence of someone else creates space for you to step into your full potential, unhindered by past expectations or attachments. It's also important to see the void as a way to reevaluate your relationships moving forward. When someone leaves, it's often because there was a mismatch between their actions and the promises they made. This leaves you with a powerful lesson about the importance of aligning words with actions and understanding that promises, no matter how heartfelt, can be broken. The void left by their absence can prompt you to redefine your expectations for future relationships. It's not about closing yourself off or becoming cynical, but rather about learning to set healthier boundaries, recognizing red flags earlier, and understanding that trust is earned, not freely given. This lesson, though difficult, will help you avoid future heartache and build stronger, more meaningful connections with others. Another way to view the void as a lesson is by recognizing it as an opportunity for emotional growth. Emotional pain can be transformative. As uncomfortable as it may be, it challenges you to face your vulnerabilities and develop a deeper understanding of your emotional resilience. Through pain, you learn what truly matters to you and how to navigate through life's challenges with more wisdom and strength. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The void may feel like a loss, but it's ultimately what you make of it. If you approach it with the intention to grow, to reflect, and to learn, it can become a powerful teacher. Finally, the void can remind you of the impermanence of everything. Nothing in life is permanent, and the people who come into your life are no exception. The Stoic view of impermanence encourages us to appreciate the time we have with others, but also to accept the natural ebb and flow of relationships. People come and go, and while their absence may be painful, it is also part of the larger cycle of life. This realization can help you detach from the fear of loss and allow you to live more fully in the present moment. Rather than fearing the void, you begin to embrace it as a reminder that life is ever-changing, and it's through these changes that we learn and evolve. In conclusion, the void created by someone's departure is not simply a loss. It's a space that offers valuable lessons. It teaches you about your own resilience, your needs in relationships, your emotional capacity, and the importance of living with awareness and presence. Rather than focusing solely on the absence, lean into the lessons it brings. Number 5, define your new normal. When they leave, it feels like the ground beneath you suddenly shifts. The familiar spaces, your home, your routine, start to feel different. What was once comforting now feels foreign, and you're left grappling with the change. But in this disorienting time, there's also a hidden opportunity, the chance to reclaim your life and define what comes next. It might sound strange, but now is the time to rearrange your space, literally and figuratively. Start with your room. Move that chair to the other side. Change the direction of your bed. Small acts like this create a fresh environment that helps reset your mind. It's like telling yourself, "I am moving forward." But it's not just about your physical space. It's about reimagining your life. What do you love to do that you've forgotten about in the shadow of someone else's presence? Maybe there's a book you've been meaning to read, or a hobby you've set aside. Perhaps you've always wanted to take a class or travel. Now is your chance to rediscover who you are without anyone else's influence. Find your rhythm again. You are no longer defined by their presence in your life. This process isn't easy, but it's necessary. It's not about erasing the past, but embracing the future with new strength and purpose. As Maya Angelou wisely said, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Drop an affirmation in the comments. I am ready to embrace my new beginning. It's time to build a new normal, and the beauty is, this time you get to define it. Number 6, guard your heart without closing it. When someone you trust betrays you, it's easy to let the pain turn into a defense mechanism. You may feel like shutting the world out, pushing everyone away, so you won't be hurt again. The idea of protecting yourself by building walls feels comforting, doesn't it? But the truth is, those walls, though they may shield you temporarily, also isolate you from the warmth of connection, love, and healing. Imagine this. You're sitting alone in your room, replaying the events that hurt you, and the bitterness starts to grow. But as you sit with that emotion, there's something even deeper inside you. A small whisper telling you to stay open to trust again, even though it feels risky. This is the truth. Guarding your heart wisely doesn't mean locking it away. It means allowing yourself to feel the pain, process it, and then let it pass without allowing it to turn you cold. There's no shame in protecting yourself, but there's also no need to close off completely. By learning from the hurt, without letting it harden you, you can continue to experience the beauty and joy of relationships without the fear of betrayal taking over. You get to decide how much you let people in, but don't let that decision come from a place of fear. As Maya Angelou wisely said, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Drop an affirmation in the comments. I am open to healing and love without fear. It's all about balance, guarding your heart without closing it off completely. Only then can you truly heal and grow stronger. Number 7, embrace the journey of moving forward. Moving on after someone has broken their promises feels like stepping into the unknown. Some days it feels like you've made no progress at all, like you're stuck in a loop of pain and confusion. But remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. Each day you get up and face the world again, you are healing, even when it doesn't feel like it. It's easy to look back and wish things had turned out differently, to wonder if maybe you could have fixed everything. But healing doesn't happen on a set schedule. It's a journey, not a destination. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. It's all part of the process. There will come a time when you look back and realize that their absence wasn't a loss, but a blessing in disguise. It was a chance to rediscover yourself, to tap into strengths you never knew you had. The person who left was not your source of strength. You were all along. And with each passing day, as you continue on your path, you'll see how much stronger you've become. As Maya Angelou wisely said, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Drop an affirmation in the comments. I am stronger than I ever realized. So embrace the journey, take the small steps, and accept the setbacks. They're all leading you to a version of yourself that's even better than before. Thank you for staying with me, Stoic friends. Broken promises may leave scars, but they also reveal the depth of your strength. You are more resilient than you know, and peace is waiting just ahead. If this resonated with you, share your story in the comments. Let's heal and grow together. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're in this journey together. Keep moving forward with courage. Until next time, stay brave and keep your heart strong.